Alright, so this is a third episode in this design series, asset creation series. So this is one created on the second episode, tree. Did another tree, this one here. That's 2 trees. I thought of doing more, have maybe a collection of, I don't know, 5 or so to make up the forest, but I kind of decided really only need 1 tree to make a whole forest as kind of a placeholder, and then 2 trees is double the diversity. So that's enough to make a forest. So I'm just going to do we're going to be stop trees and move on to something else. Let me just create a new file here. Do that. I am going to do a campfire, basically. So kind of like a survivalistic, pop-up campfire that you could make. Now this, world's kind of like a, well, honestly the world has a lot to kind of be fleshed out yet as far as the lore and story and details, but kind of, generally a cyber sort of dystopic kind of thing. Except for, as you can see with the trees and stuff, there's going to be a mix of some, it's not all going to be, dark and gritty through and through kind of thing. So, but I thought this campfire here, so obviously, like any campfire, somebody goes, they create some, oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Let me just make a new layer. I'll just select what I had. Let me just turn the threshold down. There. Copy that, paste it onto this layer. Let's just get rid of this layer, drop this down. Grab the background color again. There. Okay. Back to that. So, anyway, so just gonna have, you go grab your rocks kind of thing. So, I don't know, I made some rock-made campfires in the bush kind of thing before. So, you go and grab your rocks. Obviously, just kind of thinking a bit about how I could make this a little bit more dystopic, and I thought some of these rocks could just, they're not just rocks, they're like maybe concrete type materials and some rebarb sticking out, or rebar, I don't know. And maybe, I don't know, I thought of doing like maybe more like some sort of sci-fi kind of like materials, but like, I don't know, almost, like some sort of metal or something. A metal wouldn't really make sense. You wouldn't really want to put that unless you're going to use it as like a hot plate or something like that, really, because otherwise it'd be, kind of dangerous being around it. Absorb too much heat. This needs to be turned into a separate rock here. Okay, so that's kind of got the basics. I've got, a set of rocks for the campfire. So one of these, first of all, I want to get a bit more color in them. If I get some like more brown tones in there. Might even do a little bit of blues, honestly, just to basically, it looks decent for stone, and then also gives a little bit more of like a sci-fi feeling to it, I feel like. Yeah, I like that. Getting that kind of a mix of color. Let's go back to the oranges. Pop it up a bit more. So this one, I'm going to make this kind of front rock try to be more concrete-like. So honestly, kind of would almost need to go look up some reference. I thought about for this series because, like, I might go. I think for one of the tree ones, I actually went ahead of time, and I didn't really have reference, but I just looked at a set of trees to kind of get my mind in the spot for it. And obviously, reference is good to use, and sometimes I'll these really quick sketches. I won't usually do it unless I'm doing batches, like doing like 5 at once, which is actually the quicker way to do things. Like if I wanted 5 trees, it'd be better, quicker to just make a sheet of them and do like all 5 at once. You're kind of just like mentally in the zone. You can iterate off them because you can see them all right there very easily. But for getting 15 minutes to get 5 is, you can do it, but it's not as practical, I guess. I'm trying to keep these just basically doing like a daily asset here is kind of my intent anyways. It might not be every single day, but that's kind of the idea. So daily assets, so I'm just trying to do one thing. So we've got this. I'm gonna I like it. I think right here I'm gonna stick some kind of rebarb out like I mentioned. So let's do kind of like this. I'm gonna add like some oranges to kind of really give it a sense of rust. Again, I almost need to like really look at a piece of rebar to really know what the heck I'm doing here. But let's maybe give another one a little shorter. I like that. It's okay. It doesn't read super well, but I don't mind it. Just add a little bit of kind of like general, almost shadow right at the bottom. I'm gonna grab a darker, just full on, kind of almost black to get the occlusion, and then I'm gonna do a couple more of those over here, almost like the metals. Rebarb's kind of at like a 90-degree in here. And so it's actually do that. Oh gosh, I'm gonna make this one longer there. Okay, so grab that. Grab the orange there. Get that rust. I don't like how long this one is, so I'm trying, or how thick it is. Try to clean that up a little bit. Good. Close enough. Our time is limited, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But good. So I'm going to try to add a little bit more occlusion just around where the rocks are meeting. So let's make that. Good. I should almost have just another rock here. Turn this into a separate rock. Really need to solid these shapes up. Kind of got a lot of sort of artifacts here. Now, doesn't look like I'm going to have time. Maybe. I'd have a bit of time. I have a bit of an idea of what I'd like to do for kind of a, what do you call it? I don't know, like a spit or whatever, like a roasting kind of hanger. A meat hanger. Food hanger. I don't know. Spit, I guess. I just need to add this there. Okay, and that's good. I add a bit of darkness to just kind of the bottoms of these a bit. I was noticing, I was watching, or listening to, I guess, like just ambient Skyrim music. I haven't played Skyrim barely at all, but I noticed how in the kind of images that had some of the just scenes from the world, the rocks were what looked the least real in them, and it was because they had a lot of baked in kind of shadows by the looks of it, like just static shadows, which is kind of like what I'm adding right now. But I found that interesting how the trees looked a lot more real, and which are like kind of more complex shapes, but I think it's because the rocks just had a more static lighting to them. Obviously more modern 3D game engines are doing like way more crazy light rendering and stuff these days. But okay, so got that. I'm just gonna check here. So I got about 5 minutes on this. So I think I'm gonna add, like I said, kind of a roasting sort of spit. So I'm gonna add this metal plate here. I'll use kind of the same sort of deal there. So give it a little bit of height. Okay, that's good, and then we'll have a, so I don't know how tall this should be, something like that, layer, okay. I like the idea that there's, for some reason, two sticks. Almost like there's not really a purpose to the stick, but like almost like it's a found piece of metal or something. That was like this for some reason, you know, it had a second, it had just found this metal piece, and they kind of were able to reuse it as something else. And you know, the metal had two poles here for some other purpose. So then we're gonna get another one of these over here. Let's do, no, that's okay. So right about here, I'm gonna just do this on a layer below. Thickness. Grab this, just kind of. Looks good. Let's double that for time's sake here. And then from here, have that. Beauty. Oh wait, I had a different plan for that. Let's get rid of that. Layer to image size. So if you don't use GIMP, GIMP can have like different sized layers depending on, the layer can be smaller than the actual image size, which can be kind of annoying at times, but I don't even know why it does it exactly. If it's like a means to like save storage on file sizes or something, or what, but it does it. So, okay, there we go. So that's kind of good. That's good enough for now. These don't need to be identical. It's fine. And then I'm going to between these. This will be the last thing I do because I won't have any more time after that. Let's maybe try going to a bit of a bluey color. I think that's good. So how do I want to do this? I think I know how I'd like to do it. We'll try. It might be. So the idea is that I'm gonna have a chain that's basically tied to this, that is acting as the person's I don't know, holder, like where you actually hang the meat. So, like I said, don't have a lot of time, so this is going to get really rough. Obviously there's chain brushes that exist. I don't usually like to use chain brushes. Sometimes, not there's anything wrong with chain brushes. Honestly, you should use them, but I usually like to make my chains. I do a lot of chains, so I like to make them more unique each time. And I've thought of like I should just make chain brushes for my own designs, basically. But I like to do different styles of links and stuff. And if you paint them yourself manually each time, they look more unique. But for quick stuff like this, a chain brush would be nice. Okay, it was connected not too poorly. Okay, so unfortunately it's like obviously it needs to be hanging at a different point. This is supposed to be like time on this one. Maybe you can be a little longer because I seem to not actually have enough time to implement this chain in a half decent way. So the idea is the chain here is supposed to be kind of tied almost to itself, which is just kind of hard to indicate. We're just going to do something like that. It's going to be loose. So like over here it would be roughly a length that would come around there, or maybe come around here and kind of be connected and be tied. Just leave like a dangling part. So it's obviously rough. I didn't do like a proper tie there, but that's okay. I'm going to, this part's kind of crucial, I think, having the hang in the middle of the slack, I should say, I guess, in the middle. More so than it was. And the person who make this, you probably want it kind of taut, because you're going to be hanging meat from it, or whatever you're cooking. Okay, I think that's good enough. And then I thought some meat hooks would be cool. Let's do another one of those. Hang it the other direction. Like one more. Sweet. I like that. I dig that. You can see, you know, I've had time to really flesh this design out. I think that, like, render it and stuff, that'd be pretty cute. I'm going to add some, I'm going to actually make these look more like the rusted material though. A little brighter even. And then for the chain, I'm just going to add a little bit of variation here. It's going to be an unlit fire. I want to improve this rock's base. The perspective of these is really bothering me, so I'm going to fix that quickly. Just going to merge the layers. Inverse selection. made it a little better. Some of this looks kind of funny, like not being able to see the base of it or something. I don't even think you would see the base of it though behind these rocks based on the perspective, so I'll leave it. Yeah, I think it looks kind of funny right now also because there's not on the ground, but if, like, there's no ground below it, but if we had something that was, you know, underneath it, I think it would read a lot better for the most part. I don't know. It's okay, 15 minutes, I don't mind it. I think in-game it'll look better than it does here. One thing I kind of messed up here though, which this isn't going to be great, but I'm just going to res this up, scale this up. I should have been working at a full size, like, you know, closer to making use of my canvas the whole time. So that's good. Let's see. I didn't honestly mess up too much with the resolution, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so not too bad. Little thing different. I think this will go nicely. I don't know if this will be like a placeable item in the game where a player could place down a campfire, or if this is just going to be a static asset at a campfire, a bit of both. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a cool thing to have for the game for little encampments. I'm gonna, you know, be a good starting point whenever I want to make a new like city kind of area or town or whatever. Just kind of starting with placing a few objects to get a sense of it as I build it up that are fit within it. So good stuff. Geez, I'm probably going way over my time. I gotta stop myself, but I go forever. Beauty. Okay, so there's yeah, third day. Hopefully, I don't think my dialogue's that great still, but hopefully there's tweaks and little pieces that are improving or something. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching.